Hi, you're very welcome. And in this video, what I want to show you is how you're going to use a function called indirect. You'll find a link to it in the blog to basically pull in all our data from our different sheets. Now, this is predicated on a couple of things. For example, up here, I've got January, February, March, and it's predicated on the idea that all your sheet names have exactly the same name. So you need to have an exact match between, let's say, the January sheet up here and this one. The second thing it's predicated on is that, for example, my KPI data is in, see over there, it's in R5 in all of them. So that's one of the things I mentioned earlier, that it's really important that everything is in exactly the same place. And what the indirect function allows us to do is we basically say, okay, match up, a sheet name, which we're going to do here, and a cell reference, and return what you get. So I have it up here already. So I've got equals indirect. Okay. And then I'm just going to go to this one, and this is going to give me my my sort of sheet name. I just use F4 until I basically lock it to the row, because I want to be able to copy it across. And then I use ampersand, and then open quotation marks, and then I put in my exclamation mark. So the exclamation mark is, if you might remember from other entries where you have sheet names, and normally sheet name will have an exclamation mark at the end of it, to show how excited it is to go to another sheet. Okay. And then I'm just going to put in R5, all right, and then close my quotation marks. Now, essentially what this is saying is basically, take the sheet name that you have up here and combine it with the cell that you find, the data you find in R5. So basically it's saying, return what you find in sheet called January in R5. And it says 85. So let's go back and have a quick check. January within KPI, 85, yeah, looking good. Now, we're also going to add the if error function around it as well. So, because for example, if I go here and copy this across, you see there it comes up with ref after it, because I don't have any ones for January, February, and March. So I'm back to this one. I'm just going to wrap my if error around it and go comma 0. And then I just copy it across here. And there we go. And then I can get my total, my autosum, that'll give me my running total. So as I update my data, as I add in other different sheets, this will update automatically as well. Okay, now let's see if we can pull this down a little bit. Okay, now the problem with here is that, this indirect function is quite powerful, but it's a little bit inflexible. So for example, R5, if I go to R5, that's still going to be within KPI. And if I go back into my data here, capacity issue, let's say, is actually in R6. So I need to go back to this one. I need to edit the formula so it reads R6. And then I'm going to edit the next one, say it's R7. And then I'm going to read the next one to read R8. And then this one is going to be R9. And I'll just get my total as well. Okay, 201. All right. So let me just go back here to my January again. There it is, 201, match on this one. Now once I've got these ones done, I then just copy them across, and same thing here. Oh, and that's an interesting one, calculation. Click up here on this one. There we go. Okay, so it's then giving me my total then as I go across for each one. So let me just have a quick spot check here. Let's say March capacity issue. Let me just go to March. Is it 20? So March capacity issue is 20. Yes, it is. Okay. Right. And then just drag this across as well. They're all done. I do the average age then as well. It's basically the same thing. Things are instructed in the same way. I just copy to there. Control C, escape. And I just need to go and check what the cell reference is. Okay, so the average age, I go to January. The average age is in R13. So just change it to R13. Okay, and I just need to knock down this one, let's say decrease my decimal places, and then drag it across as well. There we go to that one. Okay, now the same thing then for male up here, and then Control C, escape, down to this one, Control V, whoops, up to this one, Control C, escape, down to this one, Control V. Okay, and again, I've got to go to my gender thing, march this one, so this one, and that is going to be R15. So click this one and just go equals, and just change this to R15, because they're all tied back to the same months as well. There we go. And highlight across, and I might just copy this one down. Yeah, unfortunately it doesn't change, which is always a bit annoying, but you know, once you get it set up, it's good to go. And then copy this across. Quick spot check to see that March female, 97, 97, yep, looking good. And then average number of working days, same thing again. This one, Control C, escape, Control V. And again, let me just go to my average number of working days, pick for February, and that's going to be R18. Okay, so equals. Okay, and again, just knock it down to the number of decimal places and drag it across. And the last one then, same thing again, just use the same formula again. Now just number of working days, pick January, and again, that's going to be R20. Just change this to R20. Put a little equals in front of it, start it up, and then click here and drag it all the way across. Right. So at this point, you can kind of see that we kind of have, at this point you can see we're actually kind of getting a bit of a shape to it at this point. Now what I might actually do is I might go equals average, say this one here. Okay, I might just delete that. Okay. So I might just kind of say like, only give me the average if it's greater than 0. So for example, we'll go to formulas, more functions, statistical, average if. So I'm going to put the range in here, but the criteria has to be that it's greater than 0. Okay, that looks more like it, 53. All right. Again, I would just kind of copy the same thing down here because I don't want to include anything that's greater than 0. And escape. And let's say this one, we don't need that. Like, might just kind of be lazy and copy the whole thing down. Yeah, there we go. And then just delete this bit, delete this bit, delete this bit, and then just use my format painter to remove that formatting. Again, this one, format painter, and then just click here, format painter, move this one. Okay, let's say average number of working days, and again, knock that back down to some places. Okay, all right. So here you see we now have our let's say one basically in good shape. Okay, and we might just use the max if for this one. All right, and might just use max for that, equals max. So all we need really to know is the maximum here for this one. Yeah, because the one there is high as 15. All right. Okay, so I hope you found this useful. This is just the next stage, and the next stage then we'll look at how we're going to put the whole thing together. Okay, mind yourself, take care, bye.